Well, good morning, morning, my friends. What is up? It is your friend and pal Seth. My pronouns are he and they. I want to welcome you into your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. If we're keeping track of the number, guess what we are? Because that's just what we do here, and it's just so freaking fun to do it. It is day number 156 of our morning inspiration videos. 156 videos, y'all. Absolutely incredible. Inside of our morning inspiration video for today, I have actually been issued a challenge slash project and everything by my amazing mentor Angus, who I work alongside with and learn alongside from inside of the community practice that I belong to, and so what I'm calling this, so what I'm doing is I'm calling this video a review of a preview, but in more detail. I'll explain. So a lot of the morning inspiration videos and everything that I've been doing, I've been previewing a lot of the material and everything that we have been going through inside the community of practice. So what we've actually have been doing inside of our community practice is looking at material that Angus had actually developed last year. So I actually started previewing a lot of this material and everything that we've been going through on day 15 on May 15th of this year for our morning inspiration videos and everything. So I was issued a challenge to actually go back to that day, check out the video, and actually also check out the slides in the program for that day, and do more of an in-depth preview or an in-depth review of the material. And actually, so that day, this is pretty much this is what we call our kind of welcome slide. Okay, so this has today's agenda. So we have housekeeping, song for inspiration, a check-in, perspectives, topic or goals for the week, and then a checkout. Yeah. So on this day was Tranquil Voices. So, and the topic for that day was just for today, go love yourself. Tranquil Voices meets at 10:30 a.m. So please share quotes, comments, experiences in the chat box. And again, this was all prepared by Angus Wright last year. Okay. Our song for inspiration, our song for inspiration was Demi Lovato's I Love Me. Absolutely incredible song. And a quote by Angus that I really, really love is love life now. You know, so find your voice, find your peace. So welcome to Tranquil Voices, a supportive community for recovery and growth. In Tranquil Voices, peers discuss their ideas on recovery topics and supporting one another. Your feedback and evaluations are valuable. Please consider participating in this group to include your voice in our community of practice. And we always say chosen family is real family. We focus always on what's strong and not what's wrong. Just a little aside here, this song by Demi Lovato, when Angus had introduced this song last year, it was the first time I had actually ever heard it. I'd heard of Demi Lovato's music before, but I hadn't really done too much of a deep dive into her into their material. But after this song, I started looking more into Demi Lovato's work. Wow, a lot of their songs are really, really amazing. So Angus, I have to thank you because you sent me on a deep dive of Demi Lovato music. So I really appreciate that, and you know, a lot more of her music that really, really inspires me. So I will actually ask you all if there are any other songs, you know, within this kind of topic of just for today, go love yourself. You know, are there any songs for inspiration, or are there any songs that you listen to on a daily basis that kind of help you to think about self-love, or that help you to celebrate you? So if there are any, you can think of them. Let me know in the comments. Okay. So let me see. Let me keep going here. So this is what we call our supporting ourselves in Zoom courtesy. We now actually call this our safety contract. One of the main reasons that we have this kind of inside of our groups and everything is kind of because of the circumstances in our lives that we may not have had control over. Some of us have developed issues with trust, you know, inside of a group setting. I know for me, that was actually always a challenge actually, for me, even before I even came into this community of practice. It was always very difficult for me to find a group, some kind of support group, or be just in a group, because I didn't feel safe. There would be maybe a lot of other people talking, or whatever. And the Zoom courtesy has been something that Angus has really had to stress, and really had to really cultivate, and stress that everyone follows, and everything, in order to support not only everyone's safety in the group, but Angus's safety as well. Angus, Will, the co-facilitator, as well as myself. So it's very, very important and very imperative that we make sure that everyone does feel safe in the groups. So the safety contract says this is a safe and respectful space. We're here to support one another. This is a confidential space. What happens here stays here. Sharing is voluntary and only about ourselves. So please feel free to participate in the way that you need, and only using I statements. One person shares at a time to avoid speaking over one another. And then our Zoom courtesy with mute. So we mute when we're not talking, video on or off as needed. And in the chat, please be respectful and check in with co-facilitators before dropping links in the chat. We actually always ask participants, is there anything that you want to add inside of, to the safety contract? The group can support me by, and I can support myself as well by. We talk a lot about self-advocacy in a lot of our groups and everything. So it's very, very important. All right. So on this particular day, we have a stress survival guide. So when we're talking about with stress survival guide in the body, healthy sleep, move your body, get your nutrients, deep breathing, relax your muscles, take a little nap, listen to calming music, and take a bath. For the mind, talk about what's stressing you out, keep a stress journal, prioritize your time, write lists of what needs to be done and when, break big tasks into smaller steps, set healthy habits and rituals, ask for some help, consider seeing a counselor if it's too much. For the soul, engage in positive self-talk, practice saying no more, take a hiatus from social media, accept that stress is a normal part of life, try mindfulness, let yourself rest if you're close to a burnout. Your mental health comes first. We also have some calm down coping skills. Let's see. Try an inversion, visualize a quiet place, drink water, talk it out, blow out a candle, jump high, do the downward facing dog pose, watch fish, shake a glitter jar, write a letter, jump rope, count backwards from 100, give a bear hug, create a vision board, blow bubbles, take a cold shower, go for a run, take a hot bath, count to 5, decorate a wall, have a cozy drink, walk in nature, envision your best self, blow on a pinwheel. And then we have down here, so if X, so an if condition, then Y, then an action. So for me, a lot of this really, really resonates with me, especially the stress survival guide. For me, I feel a lot of my stress and everything inside of my body. And even when, a lot of this was kind of introduced last year, I, was always someone who always felt stress a lot in my body. And it was interesting because when this when Angus had introduced this, it was something that, I looked at and went, oh my gosh, there's things that I can do for my body when it comes to stress and everything. And it's something that I've really kept inside of my mind and everything in order to kind of help me out, so that, looking at the stress, and then what happens for me is I feel stress in my body. And then what happens is my mind starts, and the negative thoughts and everything, and the overwhelm and everything. So having the stress survival guide and everything, and when Angus introduced it last year, I was like, oh, this is like a saving grace for me, so it's something that's really, really powerful. So, I kind of ask you, how do you resonate with the stress survival guide, or any of these calm down coping skills as well? Me, probably one of the ones that I resonate with the most when it comes to calming down, Drink water is definitely something that I love. Breathing into my belly is actually something that I do, every single day. I try and do that at least 3 to 4 times a day. Count to five. I do a lot of counting, but I also listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of calming music as well. So, as I said, I'll ask you, is there anything, about the stress survival guide that you resonate with? Where do you feel stress in your body, mind, or your soul? What are some calm down coping skills that you use if you're feeling restless or if you're feeling agitated as well? Okay. Let's see, we're going to keep it going. So on this slide, what we can see is we have a lot of quotes and everything on this slide. So I'm going to read through some of these quotes. And if there are any quotes actually that you resonate with, do let me, put them down in the comments. If there are any quotes and everything that you resonate with, either these or any others. Okay. So document the moments you feel most in love with yourself, what you're wearing, who you're around, what you're doing. Recreate and repeat from Worcestershire. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Martin Luther King Jr. You are enough just as you are. Meghan Markle. A champion is defined not by their wins, but by how they can recover when they fall. Serena Williams. You must do the things you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. I will face challenges, but they are impermanent. And I have the strength to overcome them. So, are there any of these quotes that resonate with you, honestly? For me, I think maybe some of the one by Meghan Markle, "You are enough just as you are." I've had, in the past, a lot of problems with feeling like I'm enough and feeling like I have any worth, to offer to anybody and everything. So just knowing that I feel like I am enough is something that's really, really helpful for me. And everything. So I think out of all of the quotes, I think this is really the one that I really, really resonate with, honestly. We then actually would then have our second song for inspiration after we go through kind of the slides and everything for the day. And that day, we actually only had 2 slides. Sometimes we have 3, sometimes we have 2. It just varies. It normally varies, based on kind of what Angus has built out. We next have our second song for inspiration, and that day it was "Love Myself" by Haley Steinfeld. Again, another song that was introduced to me last year by Angus. Thank you, Angus. Um, it sent me down a long pathway of looking at Haley Steinfeld songs and going, "Oh wow, very amazing." All right. So, in addition, on the slide, we have some support statements. What do you know? What do you love? What do you see? What do you do? What do you speak? And what do you feel? What describes your complete self? I am. So we also have these affirmations of "I know, I see, I speak, I love, I do, I feel, and I am." So one of the things we actually also really focus on, inside of a lot of our groups and everything, is the wellness concepts when it comes to RAP. The RAP evidence-based 5 keys, which are personal responsibility, hope, self-advocacy, self-education, and support as well. What I also just really, really love, about these groups and everything, and about the way that Angus has designed this, is we kind of have some check-in questions. We have questions kind of ask, who you are, what are your pronouns, support you could use today, support you could give, as well as kind of talking about any words, words of encouragement for others. But we also have kind of a checkout slide, like checking out questions, to kind of evaluate our experience, both, definitely the participants kind of, as well as the facilitators as well, the facilitators. So, we kind of ask, on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is not helpful, 5 is very helpful. Today's group was, the relevance of the material was, the group discussion was, and then the presenter. And then kind of in your own words, the most helpful part, the most important thing I learned from myself or others, a comment I'd like to make about the experience today, I'm thankful for, and my action plan. So I think for me, what I will say is today's group, as you know, in presenting this, was a 5. The relevance of the material was extremely relevant to me. Just talking about a stress survival guide, as well as just relaxing, coping mechanisms and coping skills that I can use for myself. So all of that is extremely relevant. I thought the group discussion, was definitely amazing. And the presenter, I am, I'm pretty much doing a review of this, you know, based on the actual presenter and the actual person who developed these slides, and that is Angus. So, in that regard, I will definitely say the presenter, and I would say Angus is amazing. I would give them a 5, you know. I think the most helpful part for me, I think the most helpful part was really just looking at that stress survival guide, actually, and really recognizing, kind of where I feel my stress, in my body the most, and how it really goes from body to mind to soul and everything, and just kind of looking at, the types of skills and the types of things that I can do, for my body and for my mind and for my soul when I have stress or I have anxiety. So the most important thing I learned from myself or others, I think for me, just about kind of being present in the room, and I think it was amazing to actually just review this material again. For me, I had reviewed this, as I said, on day 15 of my morning Inspirational videos back on May 15th, and reviewing it again. So I think, just kind of, and then again, just looking at this all from last year, in which I was there last year as well. So getting to go through this, this material at specific different points in my life and in my healing journey was really, really amazing and really, really influential for me, So a comment I'd like to make about the experience today. Honestly, I just have to say it was an incredible learning experience, an incredible worthwhile experience to just look at this again and just be able to kind of do this for everybody today. I'm thankful for the community of practice I belong to. I'm thankful to you all for watching your morning Inspirational video. I'm incredibly thankful to Angus and to Will, both of the facilitators and everything for the group as mentors and as individuals who have just really helped shape me and mold me. It has been just a true pleasure and joy just learning from both of them. And my action plan for today, I have a lot of things that I have to get done today. I have kind of my morning ritual, my morning routine that I do, which includes actually doing this video. And everything. I have some cleaning to do actually in my room. I have 2 to 3 chapters in my book to read today as well. And also, I think I'm going to actually make a special dinner for myself this evening. It is Friday, fantastic Friday. So I think I'm actually also going to make a very nice meal for myself for tonight as well. So that is my action plan for today. So I will actually ask you, kind of as we've been kind of going through this video and everything, what was your experience like? And if you would like to, kind of put your answers in the comments below, that would be wonderful. I would definitely say this has been just an amazing experience to actually just go through all this, as I said. And if you would actually like any copies of the slides and everything that you saw for today, let me know. I can definitely get you, copies of these slides and everything. All right, as well. That will really about do it for your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day, y'all. I will say, don't quit before that miracle happens, my babies. Find ways to keep moving forward because you are amazing. You're worth it. Let's join hands, do this together. Okay? I will also say, stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused on your amazing, huge, big dreams and goals, my friends. All right? Thank you so much for watching our morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. And I will see you. Hey, cutie. Oh, how you doing? So I will see you in the morning inspiration video for tomorrow.